Hello, everybody, and welcome to TTV Podcast 306. Yeah!
Oh
I'm
my
Meso. I'm Meso.
I'm purple.
Hey,
I'm LJ.
I'm in B.
And I'm purple.
Dear God.
And welcome to
Welcome to the TTV Crew.
You're not gonna name it that. Don't joke around, Meso.
So like, you know, for like an audio thing, you know, like a piece of media that's supposed to be consumed through the ears, that was probably like the equivalent of just like someone slapping paint on a canvas and saying it's a work of art.
That was the equivalent of like flashing lights without like, proper warning in a movie. It's like, oh God. Well, how's
I'm Var.
Yes, thank you. We really
Var.
appreciate your presence.
I don't know why we skipped the name order. That was weird. It was a real strange thing to do when you're starting out a podcast.
IS2G.
It seems like that's the first thing
too
you'd want to
good.
do.
Okay.
Welcome
So
to
this has
IVZP,
been-
everybody.
What?
I'm your host, Var.
This.
Meso, take it away with the news.
I'm
Okay,
Mengeki
in
Itachi.
the news this week, we have
Meso.
Marvel.
I think I
okay.
should get the proper music if you're going to do the news.
Do the news.
You don't have the proper
Okay,
music.
start the music.
Let me see.
Ba-da-bum-bum,
Nope, that's the
ba-da-bum-ba-dum.
wrong music.
That's definitely not the problem.
Hang on, I
It's
have it.
also quite loud too.
No,
the
that's
news
not the
music?
right one.
That is not the news. I mean, that is the news music, but it's not the news music.
Got it!
No, that's Autopsy.
Oh, dang it. Wait, well, Autopsy was originally used for a segment on TTV.
Yeah, but it wasn't the news.
No, that's not it.
I don't think you have it because it was like a guitar thing.
No, oh gosh, I totally have it.
I'm pretty
See,
sure it's the
no-
autopsy.
I am pretty sure it wasn't.
Oh gosh, hang on.
At this point, just play some music. We have to do this now.
It's a Bionicle song.
In the
In
news
the
this
news
week,
today.
we have.
We don't have music.
Don't let me play music. All I'm trying to really.
There it is.
Stuff.
So like, in the news this week, we have
No, this
TTV re-releases its T-shirt designs.
This is the news.
Ninjago contest winners, Game Awards, and Meso's Rage. Avengers 4 trailer and title revealed. Captain Marvel trailer. Does it suck or does it rock? And Marvel's Netflix universe gets snapped.
Why are you screaming?
Does it suck or does it fail?
Exactly.
That's
So
okay.
I'm actually like really upset by the fact that you said, "Yeah, this will work," to the music that is the actual music
So-
we were looking for the whole time.
I figured it out. I knew
Yeah,
I
it's
knew I
like-
had it because I was recently scrolling through Bionicle music. That is a Bionicle song. It is Kumo Rocks.
Yeah, that's what I knew. It was like a rock, like
Yeah,
guitar.
yeah. So
Kumo does in fact rock.
he does. All right. Ow. Whoops.
Elge, begin with your own endeavors.
Okay, I'll make this quick. So for anyone watching, you can see on screen, shirts are back. We made a video
I can't
about
see
this.
it.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see on screen that
Well, why can't you post it here?
it's the thumb.
Dear God!
That made it better. Thank you, Meso.
Only I'm allowed to cough during podcasts!
Oh, you're getting turned down. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Am I louder than you or am I screaming?
Var muted.
Anyway,
Can you hurry up with this ad read?
yeah, working on it. So shirts.
My gosh,
We gotta get our affiliate link.
you're
for this ad.
you're really delaying.
Shut up. Shirts.
No, my goodness.
They are back. We put up a store. We have 5 designs out right now. We have TTV logo and Control the Beasts, which are new designs. And we've brought back Choose Wisely, Control, and Feel the Power. TTV logo is going to be up full time. And Choose Wisely, Control the Beasts, and Feel the Power are going to be up for another 2 more days. And we're going to bring in some new designs after that. So we highly encourage
Please
if you're
try the
interested.
Control the Beasts one. I worked really hard on it, and I had to wait like 2 years for it to get posted.
Don't do that one by the by the power one.
Everyone already has that one.
No one likes the beast.
All the more reason to buy it. Well, I didn't actually have a cough, and now I do have a cough because of
Oh
a
my
meme.
god.
That's how it usually goes for me.
Var
I'm
went
not even
all
faking
in.
it now.
He went from method acting to just reality.
Yeah, for real.
You know what the sad truth of the Beasts t-shirt is?
What?
You did more to advertise the Beasts than Lego did.
Amazing.
I'm not even memeing either. They never made a commercial for the Beasts. They promoted them exactly zero. Zero.
I feel
That's
this
a big
is
yikes.
this is a good question to answer in the patron chat. Teedley Khan asks, so how come there aren't legal probes or legal probs with selling shirts with Bionicle characters on them? And as far as I'm aware,
A long time ago.
yeah, we've discussed this in the past. First of all, we make no claims that we are in any way endorsed and or affiliated with the LEGO Group. And we make no claims to their intellectual properties. This does fall under, I want to say, a form of fair use. I want to, but I'm not sure the exact legal technicalities. Choose wisely, at the very least, falls under parody.
I don't believe so. I believe the reason why these are okay is strictly because Lego said that they were okay in the past.
They have said that before.
If they're going on, if we're going by legal precedent, then no, technically it's not okay. But
Lego could
we've
change their
been
mind at
given
any
permission
point
before.
and take down T-shirts, but they haven't because it doesn't hurt them.
Yeah, no, they were cool with it before. That's why.
Yeah, because they were Bionicle T-shirts that have existed before us. You know, we did not pioneer that concept. Years ago, we talked about some that were being sold. I forget by who, but we did a whole podcast about it. And yeah,
I think it was Dromasaur.
you're right. It was Dromasaurus. Yeah. Oh, good time.
Yeah. Anyway, it's because like I said, this is fine. That's all.
Yeah,
Yes.
I swear there is a legal precedent for it, but I digress. I'm gonna go with what you guys say because I do remember.
I
Lego
mean,
did give the AO.
there probably is because there are plenty of T-shirts that are sold online that have like pop culture references and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't really know the legality of it. All I know is that Lego has never had a problem with it before. So
Yeah, Lego has generally given the AOK. So I'll look into
And
it.
I mean, it's like fan made art. I know there's people that buy shirts that say like Nirvana on it, and then they have a picture of the stock image of the Toa Nuva that Lego made on there and stuff like.
now
Those shirts are
that
pretty
I
funny.
don't know if Lego would be okay with.
That's pretty funny.
There's one that has like the Toa Mata, and it says like death grips on it. That one's also kind of amusing.
Like if you're using the official assets that they produce, then I don't think they would be fine with that. There's
Yeah,
been a
but
precedent
it's
of
still
that
out
before.
there.
But anyway.
Point being, it's quite awesome that we have the shirts back. All you patrons made it happen. We're going to be, as LJ mentioned, we're going to be doing more batches in the future. We're going to be having more designs go up.
This
Purple.
Monday, in fact. When does this video come out?
Hopefully
Who knows?
immediately.
So for the recorded version, for people listening to the video, only the TTV logo one will be up by that time.
Yeah, I mean, for this sake, I'll probably put this one out like immediately. You know, editing be darned.
Chaos.
Wait, so this Monday, are we not replacing that batch with a different batch?
No, yeah,
Or is it just going to be the TTV shirt?
we're replacing the batch with a different batch, but the TTV shirt's up full time. It doesn't get swapped out.
Right, okay. So yeah, it's not just going to be the
Different.
TTV shirt when this comes out. It'll be different shirts.
Yeah.
Okay.
All management was like,
I just want to make
this
sure that was
batch.
clear.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? Meso?
All you meant to say was of this batch. That you
Okay.
will be left. Clarity.
Anyway, so depending on when you're listening to this episode, if you're listening to it, it's Friday, the 7th right now, so if you're listening to it like Saturday the 8th, that means our first batch is still up. You can buy the Power t-shirt, TDB logo, obviously, Control, all kinds of cool stuff there. However, if you're listening to this on the following Monday, it is going to be a different batch of t-shirts.
Get used
So-
to this. It's going to be like this for
We're gonna. I mean,
for a bit.
there'll be other chances if you for whatever reason you wanted the shirt but you couldn't afford getting it right now. I mean, you'll have another opportunity to get it in the future. It's just
Yeah.
For
We're
right
going
now,
to try to
we-
keep things fresh and cycling.
Yeah.
Now I understand Halo in the rotational game playlist. But
So, like, why did you
Angry
say my name
reacts.
rapid fire earlier?
What?
Why did Meso say my name like rapid fire earlier?
Did I?
Yeah,
you
you're
did.
like purple, purple.
I
purple.
think I cut you off. You were saying something about purple.
The only thing I remember was remarking about your advertising. Oh wait, no, I remember. Purple, in fact, has got a lot more designs, not just Control the Beast. She did a bunch of stuff for us back when G2 was still like,
Relevant.
worth something and relevant. That we just never got around to using because Vessel kind of imploded on us and we had to cut costs to survive because we had increased our expenditures so much.
We couldn't afford to print them. That's the problem. But
Basically. So we're gonna be seeing a lot of cool purple art.
Woo!
previously before we were doing the printing, well, not the printing ourselves, but we were doing the shipping ourselves. So we're doing a bit differently this time, where instead we're using a Teespring website. So it reduces costs for everybody involved. It's cheaper for us to make, cheaper for you guys to buy, and you can
And more options, like hoodies.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of easier all around. Probably should have done that to begin with, but
I would buy a hoodie, but I
hindsight's
reject
2020.
I reject pullover hoodies. Zipper master race. No, I'm kidding. I don't actually care that much.
It depends on how cold it is. Zippers are usually like thinner.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shirts are awesome. Go enjoy them.
Get a shirt or don't, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the next
Your
thing?
money. You do what you want.
Yeah. It's you have the right to spend your money however you want, whatever you want to spend it on.
Buy our shirts.
Thank you, Purple.
You're welcome.
All right. The other thing is we ran a contest on the TTV message boards. It's very short, so we didn't really talk about it a whole lot, but it was a contest for some Ninjago spinners because LEGO had sent those to us back in like October, November-ish. The contest has, of course, since ended, but I only just now got around to finally getting the prizes on their way. And I wanted to actually announce the winners now that that has been finalized and locked in. So, the winners of that contest for mocking, first place goes to Sakota, who we are awfully familiar with for having fantastic
Sakota,
mocks.
the legend.
He has wonderful G3
Dakota
creations.
God.
For the music category, we heard a wonderful piece by Dark Maestro, who did a wonderful job in the music section. And for artwork, the winner was Sabretooth, who did a really good drawing of Wu and Firstborn. So, their prizes are on
It
their
was
way.
a fun contest.
It was. I was really happy to see what people created in admittedly a short amount of time. But it was really good, and congratulations to the winners, and thank you for participating.
Especially
Okay,
for our
those were
Ninjago
epic.
contest. I know a lot of people, like stuff in the Bionicle sphere, which I totally understand, but it's fun having some variety on occasion, and it was cool to see people contribute. So thank you to anyone who entered.
All right, and that is really about it from me.
Sounds like you're still got that cutting out problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it never
yeah,
went
so
away.
Last time that I was here.
His internet has I don't think it can handle the stream anymore. The stream itself is flawless, but it causes him problems.
Well,
Interesting.
I mean,
So-
the stream is flawless because, everyone who's listening to the stream on YouTube is going to hear me absolutely fine, because XSplit is not taking the audio from Discord. It's taking my audio from my microphone directly. And
Bingo.
let me see, what is the server that we're on here? Yeah, we're on US
It
Central.
doesn't.
I can guarantee you,
Yeah.
switches to US West, it'll be cleared up in a heartbeat.
We switched before and it did nothing.
Yeah, okay, well, in that case, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's alright, I hear you fine,
experimenting
LJ.
with, off air.
LJ.
We should do a few test streams in the future to troubleshoot the problem. You might be right. West might be fine, but we did it before and it wasn't. So today we actually have a lot of news to talk about. Beforehand, before the actual news people probably want to hear, I just want to mention the Game Awards happened. And it was a fun stream. It's basically mini E3 hosted by Jeff Keighley with a few, announcements and awards sprinkled in. It's not like a huge show, but it was fun to watch. Except it wasn't, and I hate life. And that's basically the end of the discussion. But of course, if I
Why
left it
wasn't
there,
it,
people would
Messa?
just think I'm being cryptic.
Why wasn't
so
it?
basically, anyone who knows me that well knows that I have an affinity for the video game franchise Metroid. And well, anyone who knows me knows I have a fondness for leak culture. Back when we reported on Lego leaks, I would always be the guy who would find the leaks for everyone and make the videos.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you made that first Bionicle G2 leak video early in the morning as you were preparing for work, Meso, with your good friend buddy Ovar.
For your information, I still reported that to you guys the day before you made it. Before the display picture leaked. Anyway.
So continue to tell us about your affinity for leak culture.
So I like leak culture. I always argue and extol its merits. But as with all things in life, there are good and bad sides. And suffice to say, I got duped into believing that Metroid Prime 4 and the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD remaster for Switch would get showed off at the Game Awards. And I spent 3 hours of my
Wait. So did neither of them get shown?
No.
That is incredible. I am so happy.
I wasted 3 hours.
I couldn't be happier. That's amazing.
Seriously, you should have been there.
You even made an announcement in the patron chat. You stupid idiot.
I was gonna live stream it with everybody, and I didn't because Keedy and Vin showed up, and I couldn't trust them not to swear.
That's so amazing. I would have loved if you had done a live stream where you just like slowly progress into complete and utter despair. Oh yes.
You should have seen me at the end. I had like my face in my hands, just like watching the train wreck while LJ and Keedy mocked me.
Yep. Oh gosh, it was so much fun because at the beginning he was just so like on the microphone yelling and screaming like, "Shut up!" Anytime Keeney and I said Metroid wouldn't show up, he's like, "Shut up! It's gonna be there." And then at the end, he was just,
"That's amazing. You got trolled by your own hubris."
It was great.
Classic fall.
It was genuinely fantastic because Meso goes on for ages about his karmic seesaw philosophy.
It's my epic life ideology, which is
all right. Let's not get it. We should get into the other part of the seesaw.
It's like a twist on regular karma. Except the seesaw relies on other people's luck, as in, if I'm having a really good day, it means the people around me must have terrible days, and vice versa.
See, here's the problem.
That's how it operates.
Here's the one problem. I also had a terrible day the other day. Like, yesterday was an awful day, and the Game Awards did not make it better.
Yeah, it kind of made LJ worse.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the seesaw philosophy, I said before, it didn't take a hit. Kind of took a little bit of a hit.
A little bit. Even Titans bleed.
But the luck switch, though. The luck switch prevailed.
Yeah.
Oh. That seesaw could still be real. There's just something waiting.
There was a good moment where Sonic Fox, the guy in the fursuit, won the best esports player award.
Had a fun time about that.
Masso's triumph very loudly was hilarious about LJ going down and him going up. I can't even remember how he said it, but that was hilarious.
It was something like headphone users be warned.
No, do not.
Karmic seesaw, you go down, I go up.
Jesus.
Yep. And you then promptly
Rest in peace, headphone users.
See, the thing is, I had no expectations going into the Game Awards.
LJ doesn't care about video games.
It didn't matter to me. I mean, I don't care about any award ceremonies. The only reason I was there was to make sure that the luck switch prevailed against Meso's seesaw of stupidity, which it did, by the way. And
stupid.
And lo and behold, so it's a little bit of a lesser known fact. I don't like furries. Okay, I gotta.
With the GIF.
Let me see if this will work. Okay, I cannot get the GIF to work. Hang on, well, actually.
Picture. Take a picture.
Picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture. And I'm gonna put it on the video. Hang on, I'll get this to work.
Meso all alone on the karmic seesaw.
Hang on.
This is really how it should be. Just you by yourself, alone.
Dude, it was bad. It was really bad. Last night was a low.
That's good. I'm really happy to hear about that.
Right.
Because I was explaining this to LJ off air.
Picture won't work.
Several insiders, quote unquote, they all said that Metroid Prime 4 was coming. I trusted it.
Were these
Sorry.
insiders that you trusted before, prior?
Let me rephrase. There was one dude who I had trusted before prior, and all he
He
said,
let you down.
all he said was that they were making Metroid Prime Trilogy HD remaster for Switch. Several other people who I had not trusted before, but were secondhand reliable, I guess backpacked off that and were like, "It's gonna be at the Game Awards." But all the first guy said was that it was coming. He never said it was coming at the Game Awards. I got duped by proximity, and bandwagon
So what you're
mentality.
saying is you're just an idiot. There wasn't actually anything to believe.
In a sense, yes. It was purported leak culture that got me.
Yep, and that makes
you
me.
fell for the hype.
It makes me
Yes.
so happy that you know what? Live by the sword, die by the sword, and this is exactly what
amazing.
happened to you.
It was very brutal. And it's the
Good.
second time it's happened, too. The last time there was a Nintendo Direct. I thought Metroid was
Yeah.
going to be there.
I remember that too.
And it wasn't.
When was
It
the
was
last Metroid thing that they actually announced?
I mean, they released a new game last year.
Wasn't any good.
Yeah, actually. It wasn't the best they'd ever made, but I enjoyed it fine. It was kind of a casualized remake of a 2D side-scrolling Metroid, but I liked it fine. I know some didn't. But Prime 4 is the first-person shooter that everyone's really hyped for. That was the real big announcement. They already announced it. It's just they haven't shown anything for it for a year and a half. So people are kind of dying on the vine for some kind of info.
People.
And
Is that what we call you?
yes, I am
so
a
you're not a
person.
person. No, you're not.
Respect me. I should not be marginalized.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. You have to earn that respect first.
Anyway, point being, I sat through 3 hours of drivel non-announcements and stupid awards where they didn't even properly respect the people they were giving awards to. They just kind of hand-waved them rapid fire in between commercial breaks. There were a few times where they actually made a spectacle out of the awards, like God of War won Game of the Year, and that was very heartfelt, as it should. It deserves
Nice.
it. But mostly, it was a very boring show. They announced very little of interest. Persona DLC is coming to Smash. That's a big deal because Persona is a PS4 exclusive. So that opens up the gateways towards console exclusives being in Nintendo crossovers. So Master Chief for Smash win. So that was neat. Otherwise, not much. It was kind of
I think
kind of boring, and I regret
my
watching it.
favorite part was when they had Phil Spencer, Reggie from Nintendo, and then the other guy from PS4 all on stage. All three of
That
them.
was
The
cool.
big three were there, and you were so excited. Okay, Sean Ladden. Thank you, Prentice.
Yeah.
They were all
Sean
there.
Ladden.
And you were so excited. It's like, Reggie's here! He's at the Game Awards! And then the end of the Game Awards happened, and you were a husk of your former self, as you should be.
It was
Oh
really
my
bad,
gosh.
dude.
I was at work, so I didn't have anything better to do, so I just joined the call muted and watched along, and it was just hilarious how it was always seeming like Metroid might be on the horizon, like Mesa was getting prepped for it so many different times, and then nothing would happen at each turn. It's like a Smash trailer starts playing, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's coming!" And nothing happened. It was just Super Smash Brothers. There was nothing to do with Metroid.
good.
It wasn't even like Samus.
Every single time they
And then-
showed the Nintendo Snap, like the Nintendo Switch Snap intro.
I was like, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, they
But
did
then,
announce Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yes,
by
that
Team
one's
Ninja.
actually pretty
That
cool.
is a thing, and it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive, which is a big get.
Not as cool. No.
No,
Yeah.
what were you finishing, Envy?
No, so when the Russo brothers came up to announce
Okay.
best ongoing game or whatever, they walk up there. And so I was expecting a freaking Avengers 4 trailer drop
No, I
or something,
wasn't.
and all they
I was
did.
I was expecting the Avengers game, because why else
Oh
would they
yeah,
have the
Avengers
freaking
game.
Russos
Yeah.
there?
So, but then they just announced that Fortnite wins this award, and everybody's just like baffled, like what? Why?
That's the
Why are
only
they up
reason they
there?
were
It's like-
there.
Yes, there was no reason for the Russos to
No,
be
it
there.
makes sense. Look, Thanos was in Fortnite this year. That makes
didn't
sense.
even
They
mention
went up
that. They didn't mention that at all.
Oh,
They were
Everybody knows it happened.
they were
It was
there
really
for
bizarre.
maybe 5 minutes. They were there. One of them made a snap reference, and then they announced Fortnite won that category, and then they were gone.
It was really bizarre.
Seems like they had a lot of like quote unquote celebrities or whatever there though.
Yeah,
Like,
Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco came out to announce best score for a video game, and I was like,
What?
Yeah, there was
Why?
that other actor.
That must have cost so much money just to bring him out to say like 4 words.
Yeah, I know.
Who was that other actor toward the beginning? Jonah Hill. He was
Keanu.
there.
Jonah
Hill,
Hill
that
was
was
there
weird.
too.
Yeah.
totally forgot about
And
him.
I loved his speech. It seemed very natural and heartfelt,
Yeah, and definitely
Yes.
not read
and
from
definitely
a
not.
top.
I mean, I bash on it because subjectively, what I didn't want to see get announced, it didn't get announced. But Jeff Keighley, he did build this thing up from scratch. It's a startup kind of awards show, and they had a lot of big names there and a lot of industry clout. It deserves some semblance of respect. I'm just not into awards shows. I watched it because it was mini E3, and I was very
Yeah.
let down. That's
I loved
basically-
watching Red Dead Redemption win the majority of the awards.
Yeah, Red Dead swept everything, and it got pretty boring after a while. But God of War won out in the end.
Yeah.
It's like, so Red Dead won best music, best story, best voice acting, best everything. All the elements of a game, Red Dead was better, but God of War was the best game. Okay. But it makes a certain kind of sense, because people don't like Red Dead's gameplay, apparently. I don't know.
Nah.
Point being, that's the Game Awards. My salt was fun, if you know me. If you don't, sympathy, please. 1 like equals one
Was worth
sympathy.
it in the end to watch
Sympathy
Meso and
point.
LJ both get trolled throughout the whole
I mean,
thing.
you gotta understand the trolling.
More
for
so
me was,
Meso, but
Yeah. For me, it was kind of a unintentional byproduct, and the only reason I was watching was to watch Meso essentially have his entire world crumble down around him.
long had he waited, Meso debated.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been fine. I would have a much higher opinion of it, but they decided that a furry was good at playing esports over Dendy.
Apparently, he's really good at like multiple fighting games. Like he takes first in tournaments across multiple games. It's not just like one video
That
game.
feel, and I thought you said he takes furs on tournaments.
First, ha ha ha. Like Nathan first.
Oh no,
Exactly.
that's why I wasn't there to talk to him.
No, LJ. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
I could beat him at Overwatch.
that's about it for the Game Awards. Now, there was something else on the horizon, and that was the title and trailer for Avengers 4. And I warn you, if you've somehow dodged and weaved the internet and not seen the Avengers 4 trailer yet, which I doubt,
You've
Go
made a
watch
big
it.
mistake.
pause the video right now and go watch it, because they titled it in such a way to not give away the name of the movie. And it was a fun experience watching the trailer not knowing the name of the movie.
Yeah,
I will give them that. It was fun to build up to it and the title reveal at the end. Don't let that get ruined for you. That being said, 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's the most obvious freaking title in the world. It's the one that literally everyone guessed. It's the one they said in the movie, even though the Russos claimed they didn't say it in the movie. Avengers Endgame.
I
Which
don't
I don't-
understand what the spoiler was. That's the thing that I don't get.
There was no spoiler. There was no spoiler at all.
I
No.
still theorize. No, I think I said it before on a previous podcast, but I still theorize that perhaps what they meant when they said spoilers was that they just didn't want the title of the next movie to distract from their current movie, and in
Yeah.
a sense that would be spoiling the fun of it, not
I
so
totally
much
respect.
spoiling the plot.
Yeah. And I do respect that. It's just maybe be a bit more clear to word
Yeah.
things. Like there was no reason at all for these 7 months of manufactured mystery, which is what it is. Crazy like hype, speculation over the title. it was cool to be a part of as like a social fandom experiment, but it was kind of overall it had no meaning, basically. Um, Now, I know I just got burned by insider information, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt.
You should do the same.
But there were two people, Daniel RPK and I think Manabite on Twitter, who were very, I think mainly Daniel RPK, who was very insistent that the trailer was going to drop on Friday. He was like, it's going to be on Wednesday, and then they announced on ABC that they were going to be devoting the day to George H.W. Bush's memorial. So he said, fair enough. Obviously, Disney doesn't want to drop a trailer that day. It's coming on Friday. And it did come on Friday, so I'm inclined to trust him. He claims the reason why they didn't reveal the trailer was that it wasn't always in-game. There was some uncertainty as to what the movie was going to be called behind the scenes, and they bounced between titles a few times, which I actually believe. I think that that's a very plausible reason for why there would be this mystery over these last few months. Apparently, at one point, it was going to be called Avengers Annihilation, but they wanted to save that for a future movie because there's like a villain in the comics named Annihilus, and that would be like a good fit for that. It's all conjecture, but it sounds plausible to me. I'm inclined to believe it.
But that's just a theory.
I mean,
Insider theory.
Of all of all the titles that I heard this potential movie could have had, or that this movie potentially could have had, like Annihilation and Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff, I feel like Endgame was easily the best choice.
Oh, without a doubt.
Of all the ones I've heard, Endgame is easily the best one.
Well, I could understand them calling it Infinity Gauntlet in the work when it was in like the pipe works. I don't think they would ever like actually get to like, here's the final product. Hope you enjoy Avengers Infinity Gauntlet. Like, I don't think it would.
Infinity Gauntlet.
It probably wouldn't live it down if it ended up being named that, no matter how.
Yeah, no, I agree. and yeah, I'm pretty confident that Infinity Gauntlet was the working title, just like, you know, Solo was Solo Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that makes sense. But
as annoyed as I am about the fake, hype, Avengers Endgame is a perfect title. I have no complaints with the title.
Oh god, Tila Khan just reminded me in the chat of Avengers Forever. Some people actually people actually thought it was gonna be that.
It's so good. It's so good. I wanted it to be Marvel's Avenge Them. That was like equal parts corny and cool.
Revengers.
Avengers Assemble, which would have been a good title if it wasn't for the fact that the first movie was named that.
There you go, in the UK.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting stuff with the movie, but credit where credit's due. They revealed it with no announcement, no preamble. Just here's a heartfelt message on Twitter. Yeah, and here it is.
It's a very interesting trailer because like the way they handled the title reveal and everything is pretty that feeling of just kind of slowly building to it is also a part of the trailer as well, because there really isn't anything in the trailer. It's a very not good trailer in the sense that it doesn't actually show anything.
And I absolutely love it.
It's more of a teaser.
I do not want a second trailer.
Like
I hope they do not release a second
They're
trailer.
They're gonna release a second trailer and a third trailer and a fourth trailer.
And
then 5 million teaser trailers, Meso.
No, I am completely opposite. I need another trailer because I need to know what's going on. I gotta get some kind of hint. I can't wait until the freaking release date and not know what the heck is going to go on at all.
I can't wait for the Japanese trailer to spoil the whole movie.
No.
I just need like some kind of plot synopsis. That's all I need. I don't need them to go into depth or anything. I don't need them to show all the money scenes or anything like that. I just want to know like what is the basic premise of this movie. That's what I want to know.
I think that's fair. I think that at this point a fairly educated guess can be formulated based on Scott Lang's prominence. I will now stake 100% certainty on undoing the snap through quantum realm pseudo time travel. I think that is the route they're going to go with, because they made a big deal out of showing Ant-Man, and I see a lot of people kind of, I think, missing the point because they don't want to accept that's what they're doing. And they're like, why would they spoil that Scott Lang gets out of the quantum realm in the trailer? That was the post-credits scene for Ant-Man. Why wouldn't they leave that for the movie? Because that's the hook of the movie. That's the premise of the movie. In order for the premise to work, he needs to be out of the quantum realm to show the others how it works, which is probably why he's there.
I guess it just, I mean, it will depend on like what they're going to do though. Like, are they going to travel back in time to erase it, or are they going to do dimension hopping? You know, those are two very different
right.
stories.
Very true. Very true. I honestly don't know. The set photos at this point, I question how much of them are real and how much of them are manufactured, because a lot of people were theorizing a time skip, because a lot of them show Tony Stark wearing a SHIELD outfit, and people were like, "Oh, is Tony Stark gonna come back to Earth and be the director of SHIELD?" And there was like a casting call for a 5 years older Cassie Lang. And it's like, oh, is there just gonna be a time skip? But if Tony Stark is flying through space in real time and the Avengers are back on Earth in real time, they're not doing the time skip, are they? Unless Scott Lang goes to the future, sees that, then goes to the past.
I think regardless of what they do, it does seem like this. Shut up. It does. Come on.
Lowest common denominator.
For real. Like, are you serious? Anyway. It does seem like there's going to be a lot of like, it is like reality isn't what it seems.
Yes.
Kind of. Playing around with this, especially for the trailers. I think the order of which these scenes are taking place is going to be very different than what you're assuming they're going to be.
That'd be cool.
Like I already saw like some comments saying like, or speculating that some of those scenes with Captain America and Black Widow aren't even like it's cut to make you think it's taking place right after Infinity War, but it's possible that those aren't.
A long time.
Yeah, it could have been prior to Infinity War. It could be, you know, their perspective during Infinity War while they
but
were.
Cap has no beard.
Well, I mean, yeah, it could be before he got the beard. So you never know. It could be right before they went on the run.
Yeah, I hope for a lot of that with movies. Usually, I don't like being lied to in movie trailers. I want nothing but smoke and mirrors for this movie. Give us a basic plot synopsis so we know what's going on, sure, but reveal no specifics, reveal nothing. I want this movie to be an event, because it will be it is not the end of the MCU, but it is the end of what we know to be the MCU. Characters are going away.
And Dark Takanuva also just pointed out that it's entirely possible that they like faked Widow's hair in one of the scenes to make it seem like it's a future scene as well, which actually makes sense because we do know for a fact that they shoot multiple versions of scenes.
Oh yeah.
For the sake of putting it in the trailers, because I mean you can go back and watch like scenes from Civil War, scenes from Black Panther, the exact same scene playing out in the movie being delivered in a completely different way.
Bingo.
In the trailer. So they do that. They'll use different reshoots and different versions.
Winter
of the
Soldier is always the best example to me, because they have Alexander Pierce and his line about, you know, you were humanity's greatest, you know, whatever, and now I need you to do this one more time. And it's like, oh, he was talking to Cap, but no, he was talking to Bucky about killing Cap. It was like a big, big distinction. Hydra villain versus inspirational speech.
I also saw an interesting comment that I don't know if it has any validity or not, but it's just a cool idea that everybody, you know, they released that scene, that stinger for the Infinity War trailer with everybody doing that running charge thing.
Yes.
And then, you know, everybody was like, oh, that was a scene created just for the trailer. But what if it wasn't? It was actually a scene from Endgame.
So that'd be super cool. Changing the future.
Yeah. So that was a really cool comment that I saw. So it was like,
normally
cool.
I do not like time travel stuff. I might make an exception with this movie because the plot kind of demands it. I hope that's not what they do. I hope they go the multiverse route, because the multiverse has already been established in Marvel, both in the movies and in the expanded material like S.H.I.E.L.D. Both of them deal with it. The rules are seemingly consistent. They can totally make it work. It would just mean, you know, pulling a Rick and Morty, sacrificing the universe we've come to know.
Yeah.
Maybe for a new one.
And the problem with that is that no matter what you do, you're going to end up having an outcome that's going to leave you feeling a bit unresolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, because either you're going to do time travel and undo everything, you're going to feel like the journey up to this point wasn't worth anything, or it's going to be a multiverse thing where they ditch the previous world, and then you're just going to be like, well, great, so we lost in the end. Even when we win, we still lose.
Pretty much. There's no way out of this that's going to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
We just have to trust in the ability to tell a good story, which they've proven they can do, and not get too caught up in the particulars of, the meta, which sounds very out of character coming from me. But, they've earned enough goodwill at this point to where I think we can give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good.
Another thing that throws a huge monkey wrench into this whole thing that I just don't know is the Spider-Man movie coming out.
You mean the Spider-Man trailer coming out this Saturday?
Yeah, that's literally coming out this Saturday, and I'm just thinking, like, how is this going to tie in?
By the time this episode comes out, it will already be out. So I apologize we're not going to get our commentary on that this episode.
It's already Saturday for me. Where's it at?
Here, let's just say some generic stuff that no matter what time you listen to this, you can assume we're talking about the trailer.
Looks cool.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was pretty neat. Spider-Man swinging around was really awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's out. Oh, it was very funny. It's a very Spider-Man movie, guys.
I really liked the shot of Tony Stark's grave. that was my favorite part.
I like that that homage to the prior films. That was cool to see in the trailer.
Yeah. That homage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the freaking web shooting. That was a great homage.
That was really excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's weird. I don't know what they're doing. It's a Sony thing. Apparently, there's 2 trailers coming out. 2 trailers have been rated. One of them is almost surely the international, but even still, it's messed up. It really is. I can't believe they're actually.
Well, I mean, I just like hopefully it'll give me some kind of hint to Infinity War or Endgame.
It's gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah, it will. But yeah, hopefully it'll give some kind of hint as to what's going on, because I mean, they could go the multiverse route, and then through that, just be like, oh, well, this movie takes place in a different universe. But then it's like, all right, well, now the connection between everything is kind of severed.
Kind of tenuous.
Yeah. Basically like how the Netflix shows were.
Yes.
Like
S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. There's some not even continuity concerns. There's like some actual multiverse concerns about S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point. Anyone who's seen season 5 will know why, but you get into dangerous water when you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I gotta see this trailer. I hope everything makes sense, and I hope it's able to clarify without spoiling. That's what I want. Just I want a sense of the direction. I don't want to know everything that's going to get us there, though.
Yep. Which I think is totally right. That's the route I hope they go as well. There was a lot of good symbolism in the trailer. Like, I don't know if this was intentional. I'm almost sure it was. Tony Stark saying a heartfelt message to Pepper Potts, but he says it to the Iron Man mask. Because it's like, that's what always comes first. He's saying it for Pepper, but to Iron Man, it was always you. Etc.
I saw some people memeing that. Where they're like, they're convinced that Tony Stark is just talking to his Iron Man suit.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
A lot of good stuff. They confirmed that Shuri got snapped, which is a bummer. Yeah.
Wait, they did?
If you watch when Bruce Banner is watching, the images go by, you see Shuri's image transform into Peter Parker.
Well, yeah, but so is Scott's image is also there, though.
Because they assumed, but that is a death count transition, essentially.
No, it's just saying they're missing. None of them know. The Avengers on Earth don't know that Peter's dead. They weren't there to see him. They just know he's not around.
I mean, you're not wrong, but Shuri has no motivation to stay gone. They were all on Wakanda with her. She wouldn't not reach out to them, if she was still.
I mean, Yeah,
Peter was
I
on another
guess.
planet. Scott was in another country. Of course.
Yeah,
they
I
were
mean, like
gonna-
she could have been snapped, and they could put it up there, and they don't know what happened to Peter, so
They're
they'll just
not.
put
They're
it.
not gonna have Shuri's epic journey side plot as she comes back into relevance. It's like if she was part of the team, she'd be part of the team.
I mean, they absolutely could. There is a Black Panther 2 on the horizon, you know. And I'm just saying, Shuri was Black Panther in the comics, so.
Oh dang!
Well, no,
I mean,
she's
like-
gonna be permanently gone.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I mean, if they wanted to set something up for her, they absolutely could have, you know.
Fair enough. I will
She might not even appear in this next movie.
consider the death flag raised.
I'm just basically the point I'm making is that people can go missing and you can like have no idea what's going on with them and presume that they're just being reserved for something else. Like we know Tessa Thompson's not out of the franchise, but we haven't seen Valkyrie ever since the slaughtering of.
I forget if it was confirmed
these
or not, but I
Guardians.
think she's actually going to be in Avengers 4.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know, because she's also busy. Well, no, she'd have to be. I mean, 'cause she's also busy filming. I was going to say busy filming Men in Black International, but she's co-starring with Chris Hemsworth, so it's actually very possible.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Um,
Anyway,
So
there's no
question.
guarantee that Shuri's dead. Just saying. That.
she was spotted in Atlanta with Chris Hemsworth when they were filming Avengers 4, when he at least was. So that'd be very coincidental timing.
Huh.
My
Wait,
theory
so
is that her and Thor will go recruit like an army of, I don't know, dead Asgardians or whatever. They'll go to hell.
So is the ship that had half the Asgardians left on it? Did that get snapped extra?
Yes, I think they actually.
I
did
think
say.
so, yeah.
Yes, it's cut further in half.
That's not
What
fair.
data- what
That's
data
not
is it?
fair at all.
The snap didn't retroactively account for things snapped in the past. Stuff you balanced in the past.
The balance is all off, Thanos. What are you doing? Now there's 25% of them left.
He just fixed Gamora's planet again.
Oh
They just can't catch a break.
Apparently, there's a name for the snap now. It's called the decimation.
no!
I
Dang,
forget where that was
that's
confirmed if the Russos
That's
said it,
edgy.
if it was in a Prelude comic, but it makes sense because they can't exactly call it the snapping if people don't know it. Snap, you know.
I mean,
Is Snapple his favorite drink?
they cannot call
Oh
it
my
Snap.
The snapshot.
The Snapture. Nice.
It was also really cool. The Marvel Studio logo got dusted. That was a nice.
Yeah, that was cool, man. Wait, so does that mean like there can only be like one major comic book movie company or something? Like they get it
Yes.
took out Marvel Studios so
The
DC could
10
take
in
over.
Oh
the
my
Marvel
gosh,
Studios
exactly.
thing
Yes.
changes to a 5.
Thanos
I
was a
found the
DC
picture I
fan the
wanted
whole
to
time.
find. Yes.
Great.
Dark Takanuva posted one. This is something else, though.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and put this on
Put it
screen.
up. Do it.
There you go. Enjoy, everyone.
I love it. Yeah, I mean that was basically all. I'm still fully confident that either Tony, Steve, or both will die in this movie.
Oh, I can guarantee one of them are gonna die at least.
At least one, maybe both.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, I would hope one sticks around just to be like that kind of elder, like, hey, this is what we can go, the person we can go to for advice, like the new team, because I feel like they really need something like that. But I don't know.
It's
It
gonna
should
be
be
Iron
Tony,
Man.
if anyone. He should be
Yeah.
alive
Yeah.
because he actually has a use. All Cap would do is make motivational speeches.
Exactly.
Um,
I think Cap
excuse
should
you.
die. Plus, they've got the replacements for Cap. There are two people who could take up the mantle for Cap, whereas with
Two?
Iron Man, yeah, you got Bucky and what's
Oh,
his face, Falcon.
that's right. Fair enough. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and technically Captain Marvel, who isn't going to be taking the place of Captain America, but meta, like for the meta purposes, she will be, I imagine.
Pretty much team leader.
Yeah. So.
That's how it's gonna be.
And like I think Spider-Man is for the meta going to be taking over the Iron Man role. So
Exactly. So it is going to be interesting. I'm very hyped. They also moved the date up again. It's now premiering on April 26th, or 25th for late night showings, of course.
Dang.
That's what it always goes.
Wait. Really?
That is confirmed. Yes.
So is that closer or further?
Closer. It was first week of May.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's an
I have to
entire
wonder, 'cause
week earlier.
They did that for Infinity War too, and it makes me kind of wonder if it's just BS and that was the release date the whole time. The only reason they're doing this is for like free publicity.
Well, it
Yeah.
looks cool to be like, hey, a week earlier. But
Yeah.
Oh my
it's all
gosh,
about,
we get
the
the
power
suit
of-
sooner.
the power of perception is very, very real. Never underestimate it.
Yeah.
It was a great trailer.
It was an okay trailer.
Yeah, I agree with VAR. It was an okay trailer.
I think it was a
exactly
good
what I
way to start off. I mean, obviously, it will be nice to get another trailer that's like a different
I
direction, but I think
I
the
need
way
a bit
they
more.
presented it was pretty nice. Yeah.
I need a bit more before I can really say it, because like I mean it was fine. I'm glad we got the title reveal, but ultimately it was a whole lot of nothing for me. It was a bunch of characters just kind of sitting around saying vague stuff. They're exactly where I
Nothing
thought they
burger.
would be. You know, nothing
Thanks,
new
Sting.
came out of that trailer.
Wait!
That,
There was
What?
one thing.
what?
The
don't know
Edgelord
why.
cometh! Ronan!
Oh yeah.
Hawkeye!
Okay, but he looks so dumb though.
His suit looks so cool!
He's
I
got
forgot about that.
he looks so dumb. He like shaved off all of his hair. He's got like the bowl
Okay.
cut at the top or whatever.
I could do without the hair. His classic hair was fun.
His
But
hair looks so dumb.
LJ, get up the Ronan picture.
Yeah, it's
Show the
already up,
edge-
you dork.
Show the Edgelord
Yes,
himself
yes, I got
sharpening the
the
blade on his
picture.
sleeve.
Okay, you didn't send me a picture of him sharpening the blade on his sleeve.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
And he looks so chunky too. Like his face is so like round and like.
Well, he's
So-
been out of it for a few years, dude.
But he's been in it for a few years, right? Like he was out of it and now he's in it. He's been back in it ever since his fam went dead.
Presumably. Allegedly.
Exactly what
Most
happened.
likely. I mean, why else would he become Ronin?
Most definitely. He looks awesome. As Hawkeye fan number one.
He looks so
minus-
dorky.
minus the hair. He looks awesome. I'm so glad they put Ant-Man and Hawkeye on the back seat just so they can save the day. Hawkeye's gonna put his sword right through Thanos' eyes. This is gonna be great.
Yeah. Okay.
I would actually lose it if Hawkeye was the one to kill Thanos. That would be the greatest thing ever of all time.
Should have aimed for the head. Stabs eye.
Oh, so the plot of Endgame, it's just like we travel back in time. Thor stabs Thanos. Thanos is like, should have aimed for the head, and then it's just an arrow flies through his eyes.
I still think they should have done where Ant-Man jumps into his ear and then expands. Like, Hawkeye shoots an arrow with Scott hanging on it. Thanos catches it with his hands. They're like, nice try. He's like, wasn't it?
What if Thanos
Was
has
it
too
meant
much
to kill you?
earwax though? And he
Wow, can't cut through the earwax.
Mad Titan's got some mad earwax going on.
Couple of things. First of all, Meso, if you have a picture of the sword, send it, because I want to make a point that people have been comparing
yeah,
it
go
to
on.
something that you
wanna
made
make
to
a
me
point with
that
the
I think is way better.
All right, I'm gonna get it.
Okay,
Go on.
great. The other thing is, apparently, the movie has a different title in Portuguese.
What?
The translation is Avengers Ultimatum.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Avengers
well,
Old Tomato.
that seems more like a synonym.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Ultimatum and then Endgame. Possibly. Okay, thank you, Dark Takanuba. I appreciate this. Okay, Meso,
fast.
since you made this point, go ahead and correct the comparison a lot of Bionicle fans have been making recently.
So a lot of people are saying this looks like Lee Nuva's katana, which I mean, fair.
is absolutely right.
Hang on.
Kinda does.
From
But-
that perspective.
It looks much more like Matanui's Scarabax shield.
No.
A little bit of it.
Yeah.
Like the notches are the exact same size. It looks like the exact same piece. The little part on the side there. That's 100% what it is.
Yeah, sorry. As the resident Liwa here, I'm gonna have to agree with Meso. He made a really excellent point here. It would
Rest
look
in
like
peace,
Liwa
Clint.
Nuva's katana more if Matanui's Scareback shield did not exist. So,
Y'all.
there you go.
Either
Sorry,
way,
folks.
Bonkle crossover, 100% confirmed.
In that case, I need to get in
Yes.
contact with someone over at Marvel, like ASAP. So if you know anyone, let me know.
Could Motonui robots step on Thanos? This is the question.
So,
Could Thanos use the Reality Stone to make love
Could
cannon?
Thanos accidentally pull the moon again towards the planet and accidentally hit himself on the head? In the process?
Oh, that's great! That's a parody! That's a parody! Fix Titan by pulling the moon!
Okay.
Iron Man knocks Thanos.
All right. You're done.
so on the train of Marvel movies,
Yes.
Yes.
Spider-Verse.
Oh.
Did you see it?
Well, I haven't seen it. AT just saw it. He was posting in our private chat. Apparently, it's really good. No surprise, it currently has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes still. After how many reviews?
It's like 70 something at least.
78. And that means okay, so 78 at the lowest this movie can drop at this point is basically 98%.
Dang.
So that's really good. Also, since AT saw it, he had an early screening. I went and check. Apparently, I have an early screening too.
What
Really?
the heck?
Yeah, it's actually there's a screening tomorrow at 2:00. So I might actually try and go see this. I think.
Does it come out this week or is it like next
No,
week?
it
I
comes
thought
out
was
next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
okay,
comes out
that's what I
next week.
thought. That is
It's
very early
strange.
screening.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on or why they're doing that, but I'm about to go see it because I'm hyped as heck for that movie.
My theater doesn't have early screenings. No.
Rip.
I might see it. Might see it later this month, though.
Is gonna be good movie.
I'm really hyped for it, so we'll see. It would not be the first movie to ever get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it would not be the best rated movie.
Probably the first
Sadly
Sony
not.
movie, though.
It is. Not only is it really good for a Sony movie, it's also really good for a Sony movie based on a Spider-Man property.
Yeah.
So
The other thing, speaking of Marvel, to come out recently is the Captain Marvel trailer, which
It's okay.
has been getting very mixed
One's Marvel.
reception
Yeah, that's
for a
fine.
lot of reasons.
Do you guys not like women?
Okay, that's.
Well, no, not really.
I actually
Okay.
have a lot to say about this trailer. I think first and foremost, we can all say it wasn't bad. It wasn't a horrible trailer. I think we
But-
can also all say it wasn't a great trailer.
Yeah.
It was a perfectly serviceable trailer for what I'm sure will be a perfectly serviceable movie. I have no doubt in my mind that Captain Marvel will be a good movie because Marvel makes good movies. It's just not that gripping.
It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming. It was just whelming.
Well, they're doing this thing in the trailer, and they've done it twice now, where it's like, there's something in my past. I'm getting these flashes. What does it mean? And it's like, okay, you had a life on Earth.
Cool.
What exactly is the mystery? Like, I almost feel they've given that away. in the
yeah,
trailer.
I mean, it's a stupid mystery to even try to make a mystery to begin with because she's so very obviously a human
Not
being.
Kree!
Yeah, so it's like it's obvious she had to have come from Earth. You know,
They
it's really
show
dumb.
The person talking to her like, we found you with no memory and we made you one of us, and they have a shot of them like pumping Kree blood into her, and it's like, I guess, giving her powers, but the implication probably is that she had powers all along somehow from something, and
Like
she was on Earth.
I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
being
human.
an inhuman.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically an Inhuman. They won't ever use that branding in the movie, but that is essentially what she is. Someone with abilities who had them unlocked through Kree, experimentation / blood, etc. That is what that concept is. So I don't know why they're making it a mystery in the trailer while also showing the scenes of her living a life on Earth. It's very weird. And I don't know, man. A lot of people are criticizing Brie Larson, myself included, but I think people are barking up the wrong tree with it. The common, vernacular being used by people defending the trailer is Brie Larson doesn't smile so you hate it? Why do you care if she smiles? She's obviously been brainwashed by the Kree. She's obviously a solemn person who's dealing with stuff. Not every hero needs to be quippy and funny and smiley and jokey. I'm sure she'll be good. And you're right. I do not care whatsoever in the least that she does not smile. I'm sure there is a story justification for it. I care that the line delivery is trash.
Yeah, it doesn't come off that good. Whoops, sorry, I'm a misogynist now.
That
Great.
is what I care about. Now, Brie Larson is obviously a talented actress. They would not have cast her for the role otherwise. I'm sure she's able to show a wealth of emotions. But the lines that they chose for the trailer are just very flat and very boring. And they carry no weight. Her big epic line was like, I'm not going to fight your war. I'm going to end it. It's like,
Whoa.
okay, sure. So epic. I think I had a life here, but I can't tell if it's real. Fury is like
I think it will definitely be a fun movie, and I'm looking forward to it as I do all Marvel films. At the same time, the trailers aren't what I enjoy most about Marvel films, and that is they are fun. This was not a fun trailer to me. This didn't engage me in any meaningful way.
It was just a trailer.
It was just trailer, which is what I feel similarly about the Infinity War trailer. It's just a trailer. It wasn't fun either, but it also engaged me in a different way because I'm looking forward to it as a sequel to Infinity War 1. So
the last 30 seconds of the trailer engaged me. Not just the epic fight scene in space, but also the lead into that where they had the thematic symbolism of her like falling down a lot in her past.
Yeah, but that was in the first trailer.
Yeah, but they really like amped it up in this one, and then her standing up in everyone. Yeah, the standing up did not happen in the past.
Yes, it absolutely did.
Yeah, it did.
Even the end shot with her hair going Super Saiyan.
No.
Okay,
That's what I mean by amped up. They built to a crescendo from like every stage leading up to her current stage, where she's like a super powerful being.
I mean, the only part of that scene that wasn't in the previous trailer was her in her super suit going Super Saiyan. That was it. Like the whole like crescendo of her standing up in past lives was there.
Fair enough. It was cool. I enjoy that part a lot. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kind of movie this is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the problem with it is for like for a solo film, banking on one character really carrying the entire thing. At this point, we've been treated to so many origin movies, so many solo superhero movies. The way to make it work is by giving us a character that is going to stand out on their own and be able to carry the whole movie on their own shoulders based off that personality and their power set and everything. We seem to have the power set, but we don't really have much of a personality yet. We don't really know this character based off these trailers. I don't
zero clue.
I've got no idea. Like I don't know what her personality is going to be at all.
I also don't really know what her power set is aside from overpowered lasers.
I mean, overpowered lasers is basically all you need to know, I think. But I actually find it kind of strange because I saw this as a perfect opportunity to really tie in Captain Marvel to Endgame. I'm kind of shocked there wasn't any kind of mention of her appearing in Endgame in that trailer. Because it seemed like it would have been a perfect opportunity to advertise Captain Marvel. Because a lot of people who Googled, that post-credit scene from Infinity War probably know what's coming up. But a lot of people left that theater going like, well, I don't know what that symbol was. What was that? Exactly. And I felt like the teaser trailer for Endgame would have been the perfect time to show that symbol meant this person. And then you watch that trailer and you're like, oh, okay. And then you see the Captain Marvel trailer and you're like, oh, okay. So there's a movie coming out for this hero and she's going to be a big deal in this next movie.
I'll save the day.
Yeah.
Well,
so I felt like that was a huge missed opportunity there.
Obviously, she's supposed to be in it, but I feel like it would kind of be jumping the gun in a way. Like, I mean, yeah, we know through like implication she's supposed to show up in Endgame. But, I mean, Captain Marvel itself doesn't take place in the present time, so it'd be kind of like a...
But, I mean, it's obvious that the Captain Marvel movie is an origin movie, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like we haven't even actually seen her real movie yet. It would just kind of
Well,
be
yeah,
a
that's
weird,
what
like
I'm saying.
spoiler.
I'm saying that this would be a good way to advertise her origin movie because we already know she's not going anywhere. It's not like she's gonna die in this movie, right? They're making a movie for this character because she's going to be a part of the MCU. Everybody knows this now, so it's not like it's a spoiler that she's gonna show up in future movies.
But we don't know
also
for sure how she's gonna tie in at what point.
Well, yeah,
There's
and
also-
we don't need to know that either. We just need to know that she's in the movie.
There's also a precedent for it because they showed Black Panther in the Infinity War trailer before Black Panther came out.
Yeah, I'm not saying like we needed a shot of her battling Thanos. I'm just saying like maybe like one brief shot of Brie Larson smiling at the cameras. Oh, I'm sorry, smiling.
What?
Brie
No,
Larson looking at the camera or something in the Endgame trailer.
Looking sternly at the camera.
Literally, yeah, that's it. Like that could have been your end scene. Is just like after you reveal the title, it cuts to black, and then you kind of fade in, and it's Brie Larson stepping out of a plane or something. You know, that's it. That's all you needed, and that would say there's a character that we don't recognize, and it's a stinger for this movie, meaning she's a big deal. What's this person about? Oh, Captain Marvel trailer. Let's watch that. Oh, I see. You know, that's all I'm saying.
It's
It would have been a
odd.
great opportunity to tie them together. I don't know why they didn't do that.
I've watched both Captain Marvel trailers now multiple times, and I do not know the tone of the movie, and I also do not know the characterization. I do not know the tone. Yes. Like usually Marvel movies, there's a very clearly defined tone they're going for. Like Winter Soldier had the whole political thriller angle where they were like, so it's going to be about Shield. There's going to be corruption. There's going to be like who can you trust and mystery. We have Guardians of the Galaxy, the quippy, space opera that banks on its absurdity. Thor Ragnarok. It's going to be like a buddy movie because, Hulk and Thor are in it. Captain Marvel, I do not know the tone other than superhero movie.
Yeah.
And that is never a good thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, actually.
Haley and I were having a discussion earlier about the future of the MCU going forward and about how I believe, I don't think she shares this opinion, but I believe the only way that the MCU can continue being fresh is to keep doing what they've been doing and having the subgenres of the movies take over and become more prominent than the superhero genre, by which I mean a heist movie that has superheroes, a political thriller that has superheroes, not a superhero, heist movie, to use an example. They have to differentiate. Differentiation is key, and they've proven they can do that. They do that all the time. But the tried and true, superhero with a past. I made the comparison like, the arrogant person who must learn to be humble and deal with their difficulties. That's now been done to death. They can't do that anymore. Doctor Strange and Iron Man, that's now a cliche. Captain Marvel, there doesn't seem to be much going on here besides person with superpowers dealing with stuff.
It feels like another Captain America, the
Yes.
first Avenger, where it's literally just like a by the books, like person becomes hero, watches the hero does heroic things.
Heavily
And he
accented by the
movie
fact
is
that
her
it's a
getting
prequel.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I agree. I think that's a really good point because so far Marvel's been doing a really good job of like making these movies more than just superhero movies, and for whatever reason, it doesn't quite feel like they're doing that with this one. I don't know what the genre of this movie is shooting to be.
There are two
I-
angles.
I felt that way about Black Panther too. That's why I didn't like Black Panther that much either. It was just another superhero movie.
Yep.
And this one had like Black Panther had the benefit of having the cool like window dressing, right?
Exactly.
Great setting, great characters and everything, but
It distracted from the fact that its plot was kind of generic af.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's two routes they could go. If the Kree and the Skrull are in it, so they're probably going to go the Kree-Skrull War, which I admittedly don't know anything about because I'm not a comics guy. I just know it exists. So intergalactic space war, Star War, if you will, with Captain Marvel just caught in between. That could be interesting because it would be bigger than her. It would be an intergalactic conflict that could span multiple movies, as I'm sure this Skrull aren't done after this. But then you run the risk of Captain Marvel not having enough agency or enough of an identity and a personal thing to connect with. Or what I think they're going to do is the Kree are the real villains the whole time. and have been manipulating her.
Oh yeah, probably.
Because then the movie can be rebelling against authority, or in her case, manipulative authority. It's almost like Doctor Strange, but if they kept the Ancient One as the villain instead of
The only problem
Dormammu.
with that is that it's starting to retrend on Captain America too,
Yeah, it is.
where you got that like the people you worked for that you thought were the good guys are actually the bad guys kind of thing.
Yep. Both sides run risks of not being paid off enough.
It's interesting to see what they'll do for her because they gotta do something to make her unique. Especially after Wonder Woman, everybody wants to critique the third act in Wonder Woman, but ultimately that movie was a very good example of like a strong female hero. So following that with like a really lackluster Captain Marvel film, it's going to be kind of disappointing.
And so far, Wonder
Especially
Woman's
from Marvel.
trailers were infinitely more gripping than Captain Marvel's trailers.
Yeah,
if being honest.
exactly.
It's not even a contest.
And that's the worry I have, the concern.
Both of them are prequels. Both of them are introducing, someone who's going to play a big role in team-up movies.
I already see people making videos on YouTube comparing Captain Marvel to Rey, and I'm just like, it's beginning. It's beginning. I hope they can. They need to make her a character. That you can avoid the Rey situation so long as Captain Marvel has a character outside of just being super powerful and good at everything.
Yes.
So if she's got a personality, if she's quirky, if she's funny, you can even make her stoic, but just do it in a way that's unique. That is something we haven't really seen before. That makes her feel like a person.
Yeah. And that's why I really dialed in on, people are really honing in. People hate the movie because she's not smiling. That's not it at all. That's a very superficial way to downplay criticism, to try to put everyone into a box. You
have to like it, and if you don't like it, don't talk about it.
Or people saying that, if you don't like it, you're sexist. That's a thing I've been seeing on, which is inevitable. Everyone knew that was going to happen. That's not the case at all. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. But only because Marvel has built up such goodwill. Marvel has not made a bad movie. Mediocre at worst, but most have their positives, even if they're kind of boring. I'm sure this movie will be the same. It's just not having good marketing.
Mm-hmm. Prentice mentioned in the chat that she'll be stoic for two-thirds of the film, rediscover her humanity, and then become a character, which sounds plausible.
Fine, but then you got to really have a good supporting cast to keep things engaging.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. So, Wonder Woman was able to do this because they went with the fish out of water story, where she was so heroic and stoic that throwing her into a world where that is so out of place.
It was entertaining.
You can find the comedy in it. Here, though, I don't know if they're going to be able to balance that as well. So we'll have to see.
It looks like it's just Fury. Coulson's in it, but I do not think Coulson is going to have a big role. I think it's going to be very minor. So it's pretty much going to be the Carol and Fury show. And, Samuel Jackson's awesome. I don't know if he can carry the only supporting cast.
Yeah.
I think he can do that just fine. He's done that in a variety of movies without issue.
They should have John Travolta join while they're at it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Nick Fury, being a good supporting character. I'm worried about Captain Marvel being a good main character.
Well, that's what Messa was saying. He wasn't saying that Nick Fury isn't going to be good. It's just that will he be good enough to justify a disappointing main character? Will he be good enough to make the movie good?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I see.
Will it be enough to make the movie entertaining? And I agree in the sense that I don't think it would.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
I'm already sick of the banter. I don't want to be like that guy, but I've seen a few trailers and I get the angle with Carol and Fury, and I'm not that into it. Fury is skeptical of all the crazy alien stuff, and he's like, "Oh, this is crazy. I'm just gonna go along for the ride because it's kooky. It's so predictable. It's like we've been there, done that with Coulson already. Coulson was the skeptical straight man. That was his role. but now like Fury's doing it, which is interesting. But I don't
You
know.
know, a buddy cop movie would be a good movie.
That would.
I don't know if that would work for Captain Marvel because she is so overpowered, though. But
Yeah,
that would be a cool genre to kind of do a Marvel film in.
it would. Most definitely.
Anyway.
That was it. That's it for the Captain Marvel trailer. If anyone liked it, good on you. I liked it kind of. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it's just not wowing anyone.
It didn't really, yeah, it didn't wow me. That's the only thing. I'm looking hopeful forward to it. I hope it's really good. We'll see.
Yeah. Before we end, because we are over the hour mark, I want to drag this out too much longer. But I do want to make note because this is worth addressing. A few weeks ago, we commented on the cancellation of Iron Fist, and it was like,
boy.
whatever. Iron Fist didn't make that good of an impression, so it got canceled. It sucks because it was getting better, but you know what? We all kind of understand. There's not really that much to talk about with Iron Fist. Yeah, Iron Fist. Iron Fist.
Crossover?
Iron Fist getting canceled. Since then, the entire Netflix universe is over. It's kind of upsetting. Luke Cage got canceled very shortly after Iron Fist. We never addressed it. And just recently they announced that Daredevil, the best show out of all the Netflix offerings, has also been canceled. Jessica Jones and Punisher are fine, but that's only because they have seasons either in production or already done and just waiting to air. They're obviously not going to announce the cancellation until those seasons air, but there is no way that Jessica Jones or Punisher stay on the air while Daredevil does not. Netflix is over. I know it with absolute certainty. to coin a callback from years past.
That's a wise idea, Meso, given your recent track record.
Shut your face.
Listen, I'm not going to be quiet like Nintendo on Metroid 4 at the VGAs, okay?
Dear God, you are insufferable.
You know what else must be insufferable? Nintendo's silence on Metroid 4 at the VGAs.
Not true friends until you get called insufferable.
So anyway, it's not a real surprise to anyone who's been following with the goings on. The writing's been on the walls for a while, ever since they announced that Disney was going to be doing its own streaming service, which has now been officially dubbed Disney Plus. Most people kind of knew this outcome was inevitable, I guess, but it was still a shame because, bumpy road though it has been, most of the Netflix shows were of quality. They were very good. They were an interesting, refreshing experiment in superhero TV. They were a very mature take, dealing with a lot of nuanced themes. Daredevil and Jessica Jones in particular. Punisher too. Luke Cage had a really good first half, kind of faltered. Iron Fist was not that beloved. Defenders was horrible and probably killed a lot of the potential they had. But from all reports, they're not actually being canceled because the shows themselves are bad so much as it's just not profitable for Netflix to want to renew them, because someone put it quite well. Netflix doesn't own the IPs, but they do own the distribution rights, I think was the way they put it. Actually, no, it's vice versa. They don't own the IP. They do pay money to produce the Marvel shows, but they have the branding for Marvel Studios. So when Disney Plus starts airing other Marvel shows tied to the popular films, the Marvel shows on Netflix are going to basically advertise Disney Plus, doubly so since Disney's pulling all content from Netflix to go to Disney Plus. So they essentially have no. It's a lose-lose for them. They're paying a 60% markup, if you believe some industry analysts, to produce these shows, to advertise a rival service that is actively undercutting Netflix by taking stuff from Netflix to put on their service. As much as it sucks, I get it. I get why it's not an incentive, especially after public opinion of them started to falter after the Defenders. The hype kind of died. Viewership kind of died. Even though I loved Daredevil Season 3, I get it. I understand. I've kind of made my peace with it. But only because Daredevil Season 3 had such a good ending. The writers clearly planned for this possibility, even though they had more stories to tell. I feel closure with that one at least.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone hasn't watched it, watch it. It's really good.
I've been meaning to watch it. I just have no time for it.
I understand you've been busy.
So you
Yeah.
quit the NCU?
You quitter.
Ha ha ha. I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, I had a feeling this is exactly what kind of outcome we'd be seeing the second Disney announced that they were going to do their like whole own streaming platform to begin with. So
Yep.
this is no surprise to me.
I see a lot of people pointing out, maybe the shows will get revived on Disney Plus, but the way the contracts work, I'm very skeptical. And also, they've said no R-rated, mature content on Disney Plus, and you'd have to tone down basically all the shows to a point where they wouldn't really be worth it anymore. Daredevil's, Punisher's gratuitous violence, and the rest have very mature theming. Ironically, Iron Fist is probably the only show that could work without being altered in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There might be a way they can alter it.
Oh.
Oh no, just by switching up the
Making
main
it
actor.
good.
Wow.
Okay, season 2 was good.
I've heard.
Season 2 was fine.
Season 2 was good.
It was good, but it was good in the sense that it was fine.
Which is, I that's reasonable. Yeah.
The situation got analyzed by a dude called Matthew Ball, who is the former head of strategy for Amazon, and he pointed out a lot of interesting stuff that people haven't considered. Namely the fact that there's likely a hold on the IPs, which means, they can't, it's not like Marvel could relaunch, a new Luke Cage in 2019, be it with the same actor or a different actor. There's some kind of minimum year hold before they can be reused. And the way that would work, it would be a nightmare for contracts because the actors would be tied up in other, obligations by that point, especially since they're TV actors. It would be very difficult to get the band back together. And likewise, because of the proximity, you likely would not be able to, recast the role easily and not have it be compared to, the prior iteration. It worked for Spider-Man because although people liked Andrew Garfield, generally the Amazing Spider-Man movies were not very good, and they were, generally lauded as we want to move away from this and bring Spider-Man into the MCU. If they tried to recast Daredevil and bring him into the MCU, there would be backlash because people loved Daredevil and they wanted him integrated, not replaced. So there's likely no incentive, basically there's no incentive to save the shows. There's no incentive to renew the shows. There's no incentive to recast the characters and integrate the properties. Essentially, all 5 of these people are shelved for a number of years, which freaking sucks. But, it was a good run, mostly. I thoroughly enjoyed 3 of them.
Yeah.
And that
I have
is
seen
pretty
none
much
of them.
I
I will not miss a single one.
I still think Iron Fist was good.
I think all of them were good to a degree. Even Defenders had a literal handful of redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
I didn't like Defenders at all.
That's why I say
still-
a literal handful.
I still find, and I'm sure I'm gonna get. If this was said by Orion on Twitter, he would be absolutely eviscerated. But I liked Iron Fist more than I did Jessica Jones. The second season.
Season 1? Okay,
second season.
I was about to yell at you.
Yeah, that one. Jessica Jones season 1 was good. So.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Marvel Netflix experiment. I am sad, but I am also happy that we are living in a timeline where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has outlasted all of you. Suck it, haters, yeah!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. See, this is why it's so enjoyable when things like Metroid not showing up at the Game Awards happens.
Yep.
Because when you're happy, it's so obnoxious.
Who's insufferable now?
Bah humbug.
That's not what
All
the
right.
Grinch said.
That's about it for today's TTV podcast, unless anyone else has anything they want to talk about.
I mean,
Hey, Purple.
No,
Do you have
sir.
anything you'd like to talk about?
Not really.
Alright, I tried.
Admirable, Var. Very
Good job.
admirable.
yeah.
Is there something
Purple.
you think I should talk about?
No, just anything. How's your life been?
I don't know. It's been really boring, I guess. Like, I've been selling stuff at art shows and like
Yikes,
making some
boring.
money, but
being a big shot, having your own booth, making money, getting your name out there, going to shows. Yeah, boring.
Yeah, you just released a big
Yeah,
animation
boring.
for your comic.
Yawn.
oh yeah, that happened. I
I've actually
finally
been
released
doing a lot
that.
of things.
Yeah,
I-
but like they're not relevant to anyone. So
I care. I might not talk
That's-
about it.
You
yeah,
know
but you
what
already
she-
know everything.
She didn't
That's not what
say.
she said.
She didn't say nobody cared. She said it wasn't relevant to anyone.
Relevant to me.
Yeah, but you already know everything, myself.
It'd be relevant to the fans if you talked about Vindicaris more. Go read Vindicaris. It's a good
Yeah,
comic.
it's like teen rated though, so no kids allowed.
No babbies.
No kids.
Mm.
All right. fair
So
enough.
why are you allowed to read it? Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Go to him. All right.
No response.
In that
Gosh
case-
dang, Purple.
Thank you very much. for
best way to
listening.
undercut your insults is not to respond at all.
Yeah, evidently.
Go
Ow.
ahead, TTV. Wait, no, you're too early. I didn't even do patron shout out.
You've got
It's
to
also
be
so loud.
freaking. Yeah, I know it's really loud. But you've got to be kidding me, Messa. When you start the
know the-
outro, that's
you
when the
know the
outro
patron
music
shout-out,
plays.
You know the patron shout outs thing. And I always seem to do someone that just got spotlighted. Let's see if I do that again.
All right.
Patron shout out this week goes to RGB Holly Jolly. Thank you very much.
Have a holly
Patron.
jolly Christmas.
It's the best time of the year. Blah, 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 blah.
Amazing. That deteriorated fast.
Stupid internet would stop cutting out. Christmas
Pandemic Panda.
songs are even worse when they're lagging.
Yikes.
Don't forget, Purple. You gotta watch Elf.
So like,
do I lag out when? Like,
No,
does
you're
it sound
perfectly
like?
fine.
Are you? But this is so stupid.
Thank you, Mar. I really appreciate it.
Best way to spread Christmas
I'm so glad we're
cheer is to
friends.
sing loud.
I'm so
for
glad
all
we're
to
here
hear.
in this call.
Anyone who hasn't seen the Grinch movie by Illumination, it's a good
No
Christmas
one
movie.
cares.
Watch
I
it.
feel like you might be a little biased with your memories.
Yep.
Marcelo.
Maybe just a tad. I did see it with Haley.
You
But
just a tad.
How
I-
dare you have your own opinion, Meso?
listen, I've never seen an Illumination movie, so I don't have the negative stigma of Minions. I actually really like the Grinch, so I feel like I'm decently objective in
Meso,
this.
was the Grinch a
It can be
jerk
one
to
of those-
anyone?
Yes, multiple times.
Was he a jerk to the dog?
Once or twice. They didn't have a spat, but he ended up apologizing.
There we go. He
It was a very,
apologized to the
it was a
dog.
human take on the Grinch. It was not as exaggerated in terms of its theming. It was a little bit more relatable to the modern era. It was a lot more about like
so glad
loneliness
they
and trolling.
updated the Grinch for the modern era.
But they didn't lose the core message, and that's what makes it a good adaptation.
What's the
I feel the same way about the theme song by Tyler the Creator. it was a good adaptation without butchering it. To me, but a lot of people seem to disagree. Give it a shot for yourself. Illumination can make good movies, I think.
This
And with
message has
that-
been brought to you by The Grinch in theaters now.
No, come on. I'm not a freaking
Yeah,
shill.
we all know you got
Yeah.
that Grinch sponsorship, Meso. Don't
I'm
lie.
a critic. I'm a skeptic realist.
yeah,
if
you're
anyone's
a
not
real
gonna be
critic.
A shill, it's me.
Yeah, you
Until
know.
they pass you some money under the table.
Wow.
You know what? They're not gonna
Alright.
pass him.
Cue the music.
Metroid 4.
Shut your face and cue the music.
I think I switched to a different song. Yeah, whoops. Sorry.
Play the Grinch song.
I'm not gonna play the
Alright.
freaking Grinch song.
Thank you for watching TTV 306, and we will see you next week for either more Lego news or, I don't know, Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, whatever comes first. See you then. I'm Messa.
I'm Bar.
I'm Metroid Prime 4.
I'm in V.
Not purple.
Down with LJ. I'm bummed.
See,
Messa
there's
tried to-
Metroid Prime 4 right there. Messa, he was here the
Meso tried
whole
to
time.
slip his Grinch sponsorship money to Nintendo to leak Metroid Prime 4 didn't work out. He couldn't buy him out like the Grinch bought him out.
Grinch Leap Smash XD.
Oh my gosh!
It was all fake anyway.